Welcome to SAT TV News. I am Larry Larrock, your presenter. In our top stories, gender advocates still passionate on raising age of consent. Haiti PM ends European tour with €532 million commitment. Stricken ship set upright in Italy. And in sports, Exodus FC secures second victory. Details of these will follow. Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism has set a 20% increase in cruise calls for Dominica during the 2013-2014 cruise ship season, which will officially be opened on October 24, 2013. Minister for Tourism Honorable Ian Douglas says a change of attitude is needed by all stakeholders to sustain the cruise ship sector.
Yeah, we have about a 20% increase this year, and that's why we want to sensitize Dominicans also about the increase. We'll have more persons on our shores, you know, and two issues that the cruise ships take very seriously. Visitor satisfaction is very important to the visitor, and it's important to the ship, because if their visitors are not satisfied with a destination, then they lose revenue, because less persons take tours and they buy the tours from the ship.
Before the ship approaches Dominica, all tours will be played via video and tourists will decide on the tour of their choice.
They play all of the tours on a video, and the people look at them either from their rooms or on the big screen, and they say, okay, well, Trafalgar looks interesting, Emerald Pool looks interesting, Indian River, I'll buy a tour. So let's say they buy us of 100 US, and the ship in turn pays Whitchurch to conduct the tour. Whitchurch pays the bus drivers. And so guest experience is important. And every visitor who disembarks, and Dominica has been enjoying one of the highest disembarkation rates in the region. So about 85% of the people on the boat disembark in Dominica to take tours.
Mr. Douglas emphasized that Dominica is a tour destination. Therefore, we should create an experience that guests will appreciate.
So you have different destinations. You have some destinations that do shopping. You have some destinations that are beach destinations. They go on the beach and they tan and they chill out, like Antigua and stuff. But Dominica is a tour destination. They take tours. And so guest experience is important, and because if the guest rates us a low rating, then the ship is not enticed to come to Dominica.
In other stories, following the launch of the Granbury Reunion held on Thursday, September 12, Mrs. Leanne Packard Lewis, Reunion Committee Coordinator, has confirmed the activities carried for, before and throughout the reunion. A flea market geared at raising funds is scheduled for the first Saturday of each month. The public is asked to bring in items from home which are in suitable condition to be sold at a reasonable price.
Application fee for the flea market is only $20. It's just a small contribution towards funding, and the application form can be found at the Village Council. You can contact Ms. Vanya Remy, who is a very cooperative secretary and assistant to the committee. We have a Kiddies Carnival planned for February 2014. Again, that's another activity before the reunion where we expect to bring in some funds. There's an Easter party planned in April for the young kids. The Independence Square dinner is also planned. That will be held somewhere around October.
The list of activities before the reunion also includes a Christmas dinner, which will be advertised to raise funds. Throughout the reunion, Mrs. Lewis informed that network and media updates will be conducted. Bars are expected to be organized by vendors in the Granby village from the start point of Tetlale. We want to give everyone the opportunity during the 2 weeks of activities to sell as much food as possible, she stated.
Food of different kinds to the general public, especially to accommodate our overseas people. When they come, we know they will be too busy and won't have time to cook. So we want to ensure that there is food available to sell as the time goes by every day. There is also a choir festival planned during the reunion. This is another way again to keep up to our theme, coming together. The choir festival is planned to bring along all churches. We will have all churches with the choirs come together at that festival so that we could have unity among the community.
Activities from July 25th to August 4th include an opening parade on Friday, July 25th, followed by a street jam from Matutus Park to Tetlale. That
street jump up will end up at Tetlale because we plan to have a block hole at Tetlale organized by the overseas band. The overseas old men band decided that they really want to contribute to the reunion activities, and their contribution will be a form of a block hole at Tetlale on the Friday. The Saturday, July 26th, we expect to have a National Trail Hike Segment 2. So those who are interested in that part will be registering with the Village Council. The Calypso Night with Asa Banton show. We plan to have a Calypso Night and Asa Banton on Saturday night. So you will know more about it and the cost and the price of the tickets as the time progresses.
On July 27th, the first Sunday of the activities will commence with a church service. Other activities include, but are not limited to, a community walkthrough, cultural expression and drama night, a Grand Riviere open park event, economic and financial panel discussions, youth panel discussions, and a visit to the waterfalls within the village. Mrs. Lewis assured the public that each day will be filled with activities and is encouraging everyone to attend and make contributions. We now go to a special feature with gender advocate Mrs. Delia Coffee Wicks for an update in regards to a petition she started in January of 2013 to increase the age of consent. Although she is far from 50,000 signatures, Mrs. Wicks says the petition is still ongoing, with plans to hand all signatures collected with a cover letter to the Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit on November 25, 2013. Interested persons are submitting their signatures via online forms, while others have completed forms locally.
The sad thing about it is that although we have done some sensitization, some of the actions that really prompted the start of the petition, they are still ongoing. New videos are being released every day of our young people exposing themselves in ways that they should not. And people must understand that from the very inception, I said that the petition on its own cannot solve the problem. More people need to become vocal about these ills in our society. More people need to come up with strategies as to how we can protect our youth from themselves and from the people who want to prey on them.
The idea that this petition is to spoil the fun of the young people and to send men to prison is totally wrong and indicates that many people are not assessing the real cause of the problem. Adults should accept responsibility for their actions, so if a grown man is convicted of interfering with a child, he should not blame the child for his actions, he indicated.
Parents, stop using your children as a means of earning income. Stop turning a blind eye to what your children are involved in. Stop making excuses. Stop thinking that your daughter or your son is the luckiest child on earth, that they found a BlackBerry, they found a smartphone, they found a chain somewhere on the road. And if they did, you should know that it belongs to somebody else. So instead of encouraging them to keep it and swipe it and clear out all of the other information so that they can use it, turn it into the police. Let us start being proactive. Let us, if we say we are a God-fearing nation, let us really look out for the interest of our children so that we do not have to build a bigger jail for all the men who are taking advantage of our children.
Mrs. Wicks explained, as men and women, we should not encourage our children to engage in immoral activities. Rather, we should guide them to positively contribute to society. She said, and I quote, "To our young people, let me appeal to you. You are precious. You are our future. You are gifts from God, and you should not let anybody make you think any less of yourself." Thus far, the petition has over 1,200 online signatures, excluding locally signed forms.
People may say that I am being unrealistic. If I wanted 1,000 signatures, that was nothing. I have amassed more than 1,000 signatures online. I have amassed more than 1,000 signatures locally. We have to set the bar and set it high. Let us dream big. Let us have big dreams for ourselves and for our children. And even though we fall short, but at least we strive to do something big. We are placing our country on the map as a country that will not stand idly by and allow our children to be taken advantage of. So people may think that 50,000 was too much, but who's to say that there are 50,000 people who agree with me? For whatever reason, some people may not sign.
She said the work will continue so as to sensitize Dominicans on the importance of increasing the age of consent, as long as our children are being taken advantage of.
The parents who accept payoff when they find themselves in a situation where it becomes public knowledge that their children have been taken advantage of, and most probably the courts get involved, and then at the last minute the case falls back because you have accepted a bribe under the table. Stop it. Because in fact you are prostituting your children. You are telling them that is all they are worth. And the other thing about it, Mr. Larrock, is there are people out there who are hurting. Just this week I saw a comment from a young lady who just turned 34. She was molested as a child, and at the age of 34, she is now coming out. She is battling her demons. Our children are suffering.
Mrs. Wicks added that we cannot allow people to take advantage of our children. We need to love and protect them until they can do so for themselves. On Tuesday, September 17th, the official announcements of the talent finalists for the Miss World 2013 pageant were made public. 12 contestants, including Miss Dominica, Miss Leslasa Amos Shillingford, will go on to partake in the live talent final taking place on Sunday, September 22nd. 5 singers, 4 dancers, and 3 very talented musicians are expected to perform. The contestants began rehearsals on Tuesday, September 17th, and also completed detailed interviews with the judges that have been taking place over the past few days. About a month before the competition, Miss Amos Shillingford's participation at the pageant was confirmed, and so she went on to represent Dominica at the 63rd edition of the Miss World 2013 pageant, to be held in Indonesia on September 20th, 2013. She is supported by the Discover Dominica Authority through the Dominica Festivals Committee. Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority, Mr. Colin Piper, at a press conference announced the DDA's decision to sponsor Miss Amos Shillingford, stating, and I quote, "Through Leslasa's national and regional participation and success, we have every faith that she will make Dominica proud at the Miss World Pageant 2013, end quote. Miss Amos Shillingford is the second Dominican to participate in the Miss World Pageant, following Miss Mona John Lewis, who competed in London back in 1978. In more stories, Following the forum which took place on the Vegas playing field on Friday, September 13th, the Rotary Club of Dominica kept it bubbling on Saturday, September 14th, with a walk from the Botanic Gardens to the Screws Sulphur Spa in Wharton Waven. This initiative was conducted as an effort to support the Ministry of Health as they celebrated Caribbean Wellness Day.
Initially, we sort of targeted the other service clubs, others the Rotaract, Kiwanis, Lions, Leo. But then we thought we might reach out and involve others. So we invited a number of firms to participate. And we are very pleased today that so many have turned out.
The intention was to contribute to the reduction of non-communicable diseases and to sensitize the public on becoming more active.
This year's Rotary theme is Embrace Rotary Change Lives, and we see this walk as a contribution to changing lives. We were going up to Screws Spa, and some persons will get in and have a good soak. Some have indicated that they intended to walk back. A few figure that having arrived there, they will need some form of transportation. We are providing that as well. We have also sought to be safe and secure. We invited the Red Cross along, just in the event that there are any persons who succumb to the exercise activity.
The club was supported by the Red Cross services, and participants of the walk appeared to be extremely joyful.
No issues, everybody seems quite happy. There are a few persons who are bringing up the rear, but it is not a competition, it is not competitive at all.
The first 3 persons who completed the walk were sponsored with tickets to the spa. The first lady ever to sing Calypso, Miss Janet Azuz, officially launched her new album on Monday, September 16th. Mr. Wadix Charles, who has reviewed the entire album, says it is something that Dominicans can appreciate because it has elevated the music from Canas to an entire different complex. He added that it is a historical album where various genres produced in Dominica can be advertised regionally and internationally. Ms. Azuz strongly commended Mr. Charles for pushing her to promote Dominica's local music.
And the interest that he's taking in what is happening in the entertainment industry in Dominica. I want to thank Mr. Lawrence, we call him Dada, but his name is Krishna Dada Lawrence. And this is a real producer that comes from the island of Dominica. He was able to understand everything that I had in mind and to just put it together to materialize what I was trying to the concept that I had in mind. And
according to the singer, our music here in Dominica is reaching out to other countries and showcasing our many talented artists. The music of a country tells the world about the people, she stated. Her album includes European elements, which she says will be easier for DJs to play in clubs.
We have good people, we have good artists, we have good producers, we have, well, I think this man here is, to me right now, that's #1 producer. And people should try to emulate him, other producers, because it's about working with the artists. It's about working with the artist to try and bring out what is in the artist, what you feel and what, and I really got that with Mr. Lawrence here. He was able to just materialize, to bring it out, to everything I was thinking, and we sat in the studio for hours and hours and hours working, and then we realized, yes, it's really working.
Her producer, Mr. Christian Lawrence, said it is very important that our producers understand the music industry and study the market.
When an artist gets signed to a record label, the artist gets signed for a specific reason. The label puts money behind the artist so that the artists can make back their money. It's about money, it's business. Although we like to hear Rihanna's song, we like to hear the song, it's song, and she's talking about something we can relate to. But at the end of the day, that's Rihanna's job. Okay? I have a problem with a lot of stuff that happening right here in Dominica with the musicians. They talk of seriousness and professionalism and they have no idea what that is.
Local artists need to be more professional, he said. He used local artist Derek Rapiters as an example, noting that when he introduced Bouillon music, his storylines were well compiled.
We need to understand the fundamentals and what that's going on inside our head so that we can properly work and continue to do the music originally. Because sometimes I know the music, everybody just give it their own feel. But I think the music along the way, we have to learn what the fundamentals are. It's just like building a house. Just because we see somebody putting some blocks over there, that doesn't mean we can just run and just put a block on the thing and say we have a house. You have to know what your foundation is about. Most importantly, your foundation has to be there. If you have no foundation, you have no roof, you don't have no house. It's just a kind of thing you have there that's going to fall off just now. You know what I mean? So, having said that, it was important that we did a project like that to uplift the people and to teach the younger artists or other artists, as a matter of fact, of the importance of having Kada Sleep So.
Congratulations to Mr. Zeus. We now go to Shana with court news.
And in court matters, September 17, 2013 marks the commencement of the new law year for the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. The annual custom was commemorated with a church service in various member states, followed by a procession to the High Court of Justice where a formal sitting was conducted. Resident judges Bernice Stevenson and Errol Thomas and the Minister for Legal Affairs Ian Douglas, members of the Dominica Bar Association, Attorney General Levi Peter, as well as lawyers assembled at the High Court for Chief Justice Pereira's address. The Chief Justice of the ECSC, Her Ladyship Dame Janice Pereira, delivered her opening address at 10 a.m. at the High Court of Justice in the territory of the Virgin Islands.
Among the criteria examined are the protection of the investor and enforcement of contracts. The role of the court in these two areas is pivotal to ensuring investor confidence, as it is well recognized and accepted that foreign investment is an essential catalyst or driver for development.
The session was carried live via cybercast to other member states and the territories within the jurisdiction of the ECSC, a unique opportunity that may not present itself for another 9 years. The World Bank has for several years undertaken studies relating to the ease of doing business around the world and providing a ranking of these countries.
For the last 46 years, the court, by providing access to a system of justice that is accountable and independent, has performed its role creditably in our region's economic, social growth and development. It is this realization that has informed the central feature of my address today.
According to the Chief Justice, for the past 46 years, the court has credibly performed its role by providing access to a system of justice that is accountable and independent.
That the justice system is the mechanism that upholds the rule of law, the very framework which makes prosperous and fair societies possible. The rule of law is an important determinant of socioeconomic development. We must all be advocates of the importance of the judiciary in the development process and the promotion of the rule of law. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court has ensured the continued upholding of the rule of law by providing an avenue through which fundamental rights of persons protected and respected, and justice accessible to all.
On the 27th of February 2013, the court celebrated its 46th anniversary from its establishment in 1967.
This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.